Have you ever felt lost in your own life? Like you wake up, you try your best, you do what you can. But still, something feels heavy inside you. Maybe you study English alone at home. Maybe you listen to lessons, repeat the words, make notes, watch videos. But even with all this effort, you still feel a little stuck. Like nothing is moving. Like your world stays the same. And maybe you ask yourself quietly, why does my life feel this way? Why does my future feel so far away? Here is something many people don't realize. Your life often feels slow, not because nothing is changing, but because you are looking at the same things every day. Your mind keeps going back to your fear, your mistakes, your past, your worries, and slowly, without knowing, your focus becomes your world. Today, I want to share a simple idea with you. It is soft, but powerful. It is small, but life-shaping. When you change your focus, you begin to change your future, not with big steps, not with perfect English, not with a new job or a new place to live, but with one quiet decision inside your mind. I will look at something different today. In this episode, we will walk slowly together. We will explore why your focus matters, how it shapes your feelings, and how even a small shift can open a new path in front of you. By the end, you will understand this idea not only with your brain, but with your heart. You will feel it. You will see it. Change your focus. Change your future. Let's begin. Let's begin with a simple idea. Your focus is the place where your eyes, your mind, and your heart go. It is the thing you look at again and again. And slowly, it becomes the world you live in. If you look at problems all day, your world feels full of problems. If you look at fear all day, your world feels small and closed. But if you look at possibilities, even small ones, your world begins to feel open, soft, and hopeful. I want to tell you a little story. It is about a small room with two windows. One window looks at a wall. The wall is dirty, dark, and full of old trash. When you look at this window, you feel tired. You feel like nothing beautiful exists. The second window looks at a garden. There is green grass, soft flowers, and warm morning light. When you look at this window, you feel alive. You feel like the world has space for you. A young man lives in this room. Every morning he wakes up and looks through the first window. He sees the dirt, the mess, the gray, and he thinks, my life is ugly. Nothing will change for me. So his days feel heavy. His heart feels small. One day he turns his head, just a small turn, and he sees the second window. He sees the garden, the colors, the light, and something inside him becomes warm. He whispers to himself, the world is bigger than my worry. Nothing in the room changed. The walls stayed the same. The garden stayed the same. Only his focus changed. And with that small change, his feelings changed. His thoughts changed. His hope changed. Your mind is just like this room. You also have more than one window, more than one view, more than one way to see your life. When you change what you look at, you change how you feel. When you change how you feel, you change what you do. And when you change what you do, you begin to shape a different future. This is why focus matters. This is why even a small shift can open a new path for you. So remember this simple line. Focus shapes your future. Look at something new, and your future begins to open. Now let's talk about something important. Many people focus on the wrong things, not because they are weak, but because they are human. Our brains are always trying to protect us. They look for danger, for mistakes, for things that might hurt us. This is normal. This is part of being alive. But sometimes, this protective brain becomes too loud. It shows us only the difficult parts of life. And slowly we begin to believe that the difficult parts are the whole story. To help you understand this, let me tell you a small story. There is a young girl who walks to school every morning. On her way, she looks up at the sky. But she does not see the bright colors. She does not see the wide open blue. She only sees the dark clouds. She counts them one by one. She thinks, the world is sad today. Maybe the world is sad every day. But one morning, her teacher walks beside her. The teacher smiles and says, "You count the gray, but have you tried counting the blue?" The girl lifts her eyes a little higher. For the first time, she sees the light behind the clouds. She sees space. She sees color. And she realizes that her world was never only dark. She was simply looking at only one part of it. We are all like this girl sometimes. We pay attention to what hurts. We remember the mistake, not the progress. We think about fear, not courage. We look at what we don't have, not what we already hold. But here is the good news. You can train your eyes. You can teach your mind to see light again. It doesn't have to be fast. It just needs to be gentle and real. Let me show you a few simple shifts you can try in your own life. Instead of saying, "I can't," try saying, "I am learning." Instead of thinking about fear, think about one small step you can take today. Instead of looking at past mistakes, look at the choice you have right now. Instead of focusing on weakness, focus on effort. Effort means the work you try to do even when it feels hard. And instead of thinking about what you don't have, think about gratitude. Gratitude means feeling thankful for the things that are already in your life. You don't need to change everything. You just need to shift your focus a little. Because even one small shift can open a space inside you. And inside that space, new energy begins to grow. So remember this line. You don't need a big change. You need a small shift. Now let's look at how your future begins to change when your focus changes. It happens step by step in a gentle way. First, your focus changes your feelings. When you look at fear, you feel small. When you look at hope, you feel warm. When you look at progress, even a little progress, you feel stronger inside. Next, your feelings change your actions. When you feel small, you stop trying. When you feel hopeful, you try one more time. When you feel proud of your small progress, you take another step. This is how action begins. And when your actions change, your story starts to move. It becomes a different story from the one you lived before. Your days slowly become lighter. Your path slowly becomes wider. And this is how your future begins to open. To help you see this clearly, I want to tell you another story. There is a man who wants to learn English. Every day he studies alone, but he always says the same things to himself. I am slow. My English is bad. Other people are better than me. Every day he focuses on weakness, so he feels afraid. He feels small. And because he feels this way, he does not speak. He does not grow. His dream stays far away. One day, a friend talks to him with a soft voice. The friend says, "Look at something different. Look at your courage." Courage means being brave even when you feel scared. The man decides to try. He begins to look at one small win each day. He says, "Today I said one sentence. Today I learned one new word. Today I tried." Day by day, this small focus becomes a habit. He starts to feel a little stronger, a little more open, a little more brave. After some weeks, he begins to speak with more confidence. After some months, he can talk to new people. He can share ideas. He can express his heart. His future changed, not because he learned fast, but because he changed what he looked at. He focused on courage. not fear. He focused on today, not the past. And slowly his actions grew into a new life. Your life can work in the same way. Your future is not only something far away. Your future is built from the small choices you make today, from the small things you choose to look at, from the story you choose to tell yourself. Think of your focus like a flashlight. Where you point the light, the path appears. If you point it at fear, the fear grows. If you point it at hope, the hope grows. Your steps follow the light. Your future follows your steps. So when you change your focus, you change your direction. And when you change your direction, you begin to change your future. As we finish this episode, I want to leave you with a quiet thought. Your life is always moving, even when you don't feel the movement. Your heart is always learning, even when the lesson feels slow. And your future is always growing, even when the road looks still. Sometimes the world feels heavy because your eyes stay on the same place. But the world is wider than your worry. It is larger than your fear. It holds more possibilities than you can see right now. You do not need to push yourself hard. You do not need to run fast. You only need to turn your face toward a better view, a kinder view, a view that gives you space to breathe, to grow, to rise. When you choose your focus, you choose your direction. And when you choose your direction, you begin to write a new story, a story that belongs to you, a story that comes from your courage, your effort, and your hope. Remember this: your future is not far away. Your future begins with one moment of attention, one gentle decision inside your mind, one small shift that opens a door you didn't see before. Change your focus, change your future, and keep walking with an open heart. You are growing slowly, bravely, beautifully, and your future is already waiting for you.